I swear to God, I just want them to scorch Dane's ass. And hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about all the books that I read during the month of October, and I'm going to open up with the star of October. Let me grab it. Bonesmith. This book, if you didn't read it yet, please pick it up. This is becoming more popular every single day, and I'm so happy that more people are picking this up and loving it, and I want you to be one of them. Let me begin by saying one thing. If you didn't read the synopsis for this book yet, don't do it. Don't do it. I read it after I finished the book, and I was so happy that I didn't even look at it before that. I think it gives too much away. And I'm one of the people who do not like to know what is going to happen. I want to be surprised even in the smallest things. So I think the only thing you need to know is that this is exactly like it was pitched. Gideon the Ninth meets the Game of Thrones White Walkers. You heard it. You heard it. And it's freaking amazing. You get an outstanding world building without it being overwhelming. An amazing cast of characters and character growth that will make you love them and root for them, and a thrilling plot line that will keep you on your toes. The layers and the twists are just brilliant, and the story is so unique and fresh. I truly loved every single page of Bonesmith, and I cannot wait. I truly cannot wait for the sequel, and I cannot believe that this is a YA. It is outstanding. It is so good. Please, if you didn't pick this up yet, do it. You will not regret it. This is definitely a 6 stars book, and I was so happy that I opened up my month with this one. Next up, I have it right here too. It's A Study in Drowning. I took off the dust jacket because I think the naked cover looks so pretty. So I'm displaying it like this now. So unfortunately, I did not love this as much as I did with Fourth Wing. I was anticipating this book so much and was so excited to read it, but it didn't live up to my expectations, unfortunately. In this book, the lines between fairy tale and reality are blurred. I enjoyed many aspects of this book, and I respect what it contributes to the genre, but unfortunately I was left wanting more from the story. The gothic atmosphere is easily the strongest element of the book. The manor called Hiraeth was the home of Effie's favorite author, Marion. It was to where Effie traveled to reconstruct it. I like the idea of a house that is quite literally falling into the sea. It made me anxious while reading, but in a good way. And along the story, she unraveled many dark secrets and mysteries along with Preston, the other student that was present at the house at the same time. The gothic atmosphere was heightened by Effie's mental status as an unreliable author. And I also want to mention that I love the deep topic about misogyny and how it was represented and explored in the story by our young female protagonist Effie, who was trying to navigate university and the world in general that was overwhelmingly misogynistic. Also, I have to add that Ava Reed's writing is so lyrical and enthralling. She is so skilled with building an atmosphere that leaps off the page. It made me really feel like I was in the with the characters in Hiraeth, and loved how it is a story in a story type of book. And from the book, you could feel that the author loves to tell stories, and I really liked that about the book. However, these are the only things that I enjoyed because the rest left me wanting for more. I thought that the story was mid, and the two main characters, Effie and Preston, felt underdeveloped for me and like bland, to be honest. I mean, even the romance did not give me the feels or anything really. I didn't care about the romance. I was indifferent. So yeah, I like the atmosphere. I like the writing. I love the author. The author, she's an amazing writer, but it left me wanting for more. That's it. So yeah, A Study in Drowning. The next book that I read, let me pick it up. An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This is a YA fantasy. This book reminded me a lot of the fairies in Holly Black books. Here you find the same vibes from the fairies as in the Folk of the Air series if you already read that one. The fairies are ruthless, they are cunning, they are mischievous, not at all the sexy fairies of Sarah J. Maas. In this book, the Fae are incapable of making anything from scratch, so they have to rely on human craft to get what they need or want. Like they cannot make clothes or like cook, for example. So our female main character, Isobel, is the most talented painter in her village, and she's popular among the fairy for her craft, until one day the prince of the autumn court, Rook, asks her for a portrait, and she paints human feelings in his eyes, and her life turns upside down because now she has to face judgment in the autumn court and be punished. As they travel together to the autumn court, the adventure begins as they get attacked and begin to notice that something is amiss in the fairylands. I have to say that the plot for me was not the strongest thing in this book. I personally loved the characters, the setup, and the world much more. I adored the world and Margaret Rogerson's depiction of the fair folk. The writing was lush and the characters well expressed. I also loved the darkness in the world, that immortality isn't glorified or perfect, that there are consequences. And let me tell you, the fall descriptions are immaculate. The rustling and crackling of the dry leaves, the colors of the trees, every single description transported me more and more to the fairylands, and it was glorious. It is the perfect book to read in the fall season. So yeah, The Enchantment of Ravens. I think I gave this book 3 stars. The next book I picked up is, I have it right here, The Scarlet Veil by Shelby Marion. It is a YA fantasy with vampires, and I think it's going to be, the author mentioned that it's going to be a duology. This is a dark vampire romance set in the world of the Serpent and Dove series. And here we follow Sally, who recently joined the ranks of chasseurs and became the first huntswoman. And her new captain is also her fiancé, Jean-Luc. He is very strict with following the rules and shows a lot of concern for Sally's safety. He's always trying to protect her and avoids talking about serious problems. And her friends too are trying to protect her because of what happened at the end of book 3 of the Serpent and Dove series. So if you did not read that series yet, you will get spoiled about what happens in the ending of that series. If you don't care, read it. You will understand everything that goes around in that world. You don't need to read that series to understand this book. I just want to say that. If you want to read it first, because the ending is spoiled in this one. But one day they start to find corpses around the city of supernatural creatures all around Baltera that are drained of their blood. And Sally was determined to prove herself as a new huntswoman, to prove to her fiancé that she could stand on her own and she does not need his protection, that she's not a weak person, and that she does not need the protection or special treatment of her friends either. So she tracks the killer and gets kidnapped by vampires who take her to the island of Requiem, where their king Michal rules. And the story goes from there. Michal was dark and mysterious and sexy and dangerous, and he had this kind of wit about him, and he was an irresistible character. I love the character development of Silly throughout the book and all the supernatural creatures that we got introduced to. It was fascinating. The gothic vibes, the classic vampires, the vibes were so immaculate, and I really loved the mystery plot line. It was so fun and suspenseful, and even though it is a thick book, I did not get bored reading this, and I did not feel like the plot was dragging. If you are looking for gothic vibes with the castle and vampires and ghosts and a murder mystery, I highly recommend you book this book. Even though you didn't read the first trilogy, I think you can understand everything, as I said, that is happening here. So yeah, I really enjoyed The Scarlet Veil and gave it 4 stars. Okay, the next book is a reread. It's so exciting. I have it right here. It is my reread of Fourth Wing. You saw in a previous haul that I bought the paperback to reread Fourth Wing and tab it, and that is exactly what I did. I tabbed the hell out of this. Look at all these tabs. Look at this. I had the best time ever with this book. If you did not read Fourth Wing yet, this is the first thing that you should do once you finish watching this video. Pick this book up and then pick up Bonesmith. You just need to. This is a must read now. We follow Violet Sorrengail, and she loves reading books and she loves statistics and wanted to become a scribe, enjoy the scribe quadrant and this world. But her mother will not accept anything less than a dragon rider from her kids, so she pushed her into this war college called Basquiat, where cadets compete to death to become dragon riders. And then she gets entangled with our shadow daddy Zayden, who is the wing leader of the Fourth Wing. And this story has much more to it. We have a lot of world building and political intrigue, and we get to see the reasons behind the conflicts with the adjacent territory and a lot more. And this book is just a masterpiece. It's one thing that will bother you is Dane. I swear to God, I just want Dane to scorch Dane's ass, and in my head, Bryce and Danica would be like, light it up. That would literally make my day. Yeah, if you didn't pick up Fourth Wing, like every time Dane pops up in the page, I'm like, Taryn, man, this is your chance. Just scorch his ass. This is a masterpiece of a book. You need to read this book if you didn't yet. Yeah, I'm gonna stop raving about it. Fourth Wing, it's 6 stars. Okay. The next book I read is another amazing 6 stars. I had a very good reading month this month, which is right here. The Ballad of Never After in Preparation for A Curse for True Love. Here, I cannot tell you about the things that happen in this book because this is a sequel, but in the first book, Once Upon a Broken Heart, you need to read this too. Evangeline Fox has believed in true love all her life and like happy endings until she learns that her true love was going to marry her cousin, and in order to stop the wedding, she strikes a deal with the Prince of Heart, Jax, and in exchange, he asks her for 3 kisses that she would give at the time and place of his choosing. But then she discovers that she is a part of a bigger scheme. What can I say? These books are purely magic. If you love fairy tales with dark twists, this is definitely for you. Pick them up. Pick them up. Okay, next up, I have it right here. House of Marion by J.L. This is a new YA fantasy. This got released very recently. In this book, we follow a 17-year-old, Kel, who always lived on the run with her mother in order to hide her deadly dark magic. It's called Tushana. Until one day she gets discovered, so to hide from the dragon hunting her, and the dragons are not real dragons. They are a group of people, but they are called dragons, and they hunt people who have Tushana, like our main character, Kel. So she has to join the Order, which is the Society for Magical Social Elites, and she has to pass 3 trials to become a member, and there she meets her mentor, who is also a dragon in training, and she starts to uncover more secrets about her past, and also the Order. I loved Kel's character. Despite her young age, she was strong and cunning, and she kept thinking before rushing into different situations that she encountered. The world building, the magic system was unique too, not too intricate, and rich enough that would keep you interested. Also, while most of the book is from Kel's point of view, there was another POV we get in few chapters of Ygritte. You will see the opening of the book. We begin with Ygritte's point of view. That will tie beautifully at the end, and that twist at the end was everything. For me, I didn't see it coming. Maybe you will, but I didn't. I loved it so much. I enjoyed this book for what it is. It is very YA. Let me tell you, you will feel it while reading this book. It's very YA. As I said, I enjoyed it for what it is. I don't know that if it's going to leave a lasting impression or anything. If you like YA fantasy, a magical boarding school setting with mystery and a magical society of debutantes in a like Bridgerton era, I think you will enjoy this. Okay, next book, let me pick it up. I read The Tea Dragon Society by Katie O'Neill. This is a middle grade graphic novel. I talked about this book in my ultimate guide for cozy books to read this fall. So if you are looking for more cozy books, go check that video out. It has great recommendations. This is a very charming book that fits all ages in my opinion. So the book is broken down into 5 parts, 1 for each season. Then we get an epilogue at the end. The book starts off with the spring season, when our girl Greta, who is an apprentice blacksmith, she is trained by her mother, and one day when she was going home, she rescues a little dragon outside, and Greta's father recognizes the little dragon and recognizes the owner and sends her off to return the dragon to his owner. And there she gets an invite from the owner Heskiel to come and learn all about the tea dragons. If you are looking for the epitome of coziness, if you want to read something that will make you feel calm, cozy, safe, something that would warm your heart, if you are looking for an outstanding, sublime book with characters that will make you melt, this is it. Look no further. This is it. Absolutely stunning. I loved every single page of this. Please read it if you like. If you are looking for coziness, this is it. Pick it up. This was the last book that I read during the month of October. Tell me about the books that you read and what you enjoyed. Leave me the fallen leaves emoji if you made it this far. Subscribe so we can become bookish friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!